Morning, everybody. This is Jackie from Jack Gets Lost Down a Book Hole. Now, this is my third attempt at filming this video. I got interrupted twice. Well, actually, no. The first time I thought the video was way too long. I didn't get interrupted, so the second time, I knew it was a mistake for me to start filming for a second attempt because my parents were going to be leaving soon. They're going to go visit my sister, and because I have to work, I'm staying home with our lovely dogs. So, I'm doing Strikebackvideoathon, and luckily this time I actually have some smaller booktubers that I will give shoutouts to when I'm done talking about this topic. But, the topic for this video is your favorite ships in books. I have quite a lot here, so let me get started before this video gets too long. Okay, so the first three I will talk about are the ones from the Shadowhunter Chronicles. I must have a hold of something. The first one is Izzy and Simon from the Mortal Instruments. I love these two because, first of all, Simon is this nerdy guy. He doesn't, in most stories, guys like Simon don't get the hot, sexy girl. He had this huge crush on Clary, but she didn't see him in that way. She saw him as more like a brother. And of course, sexy, immortal, mysterious, broody Jace comes into the picture, and she immediately starts to fall for him. But then in the second book, at the end of the first book, spoiler alert, she finds out that Jace is her brother. Which, another spoiler alert, by City of the third book, she finds out that Valentine lied to her and Jace is not her brother. So thankfully there's no incest, because she still, for some reason, is still attracted to Jace and still falls for him, despite the fact that she is led to believe that he is her biological brother, making it incest. But like I said, we find out in the City of Glass, he's not. So, but in City of Ashes, Clary and Simon date because she realizes that she can't date Jace. And Simon's just always been there for her. He's loyal, he's sweet, and he's cute. And he's a good guy. And she starts to date him, but I feel like I agree. I can't remember who said it, which booktuber got me thinking about this, but there is no chemistry between Simon and Clary in the books, because it's like she only went out with him because she couldn't have Jace, and Simon was just there. But they actually, and yes, technically in the series, in the TV series, is the same way, but I feel like there's more chemistry and there's more potential for that ship to exist. But anyway, so when they end up not working out, and especially when she finds out that Jace, she can be with him, but Izzy starts to fall for Simon, and I think part of that is that Simon becomes a vampire, and Izzy has a thing for downworlders, which are what the vampires and the werewolves and the warlocks all are in this world, in this universe. She starts to fall for him, but then it's not just the fact that he's a vampire. She gets to know him, and she already knew him a little bit before. So she's this hot, sexy, badass shadowhunter who falls for Simon. And especially after the fact he gets rejected and dumped by Clary in such a harsh, brutal way. Because he finds out that when they go to the fairy court, and the queen of the Sealy court manipulates them and is like, you will only be able to set Simon and Jace free if you kiss the one you love, the one you want to kiss. And she almost kissed Simon because Simon is her boyfriend. Now, I don't remember if it happened the same way in the books, but instead, but then the queen is like, you don't want to kiss Simon, you want to kiss Jace. So that's the only way she sets them free, and it just breaks Simon's heart in such a brutal fashion, and he is such a little cinnamon roll. You feel so bad for him, and he's such a sweet guy. He's a great boyfriend, and I personally think he would be a better boyfriend than Jace. Of course, this is a fantasy world, and every girl in these fantasy stories, every teenage girl falls for the bad boy, the mysterious, broody bad boy. And granted, now it's funny though, in TV shows, certain TV shows, I kind of feel the complete opposite. in the show I'm referring to as an example of this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. At the end of the day, well, Riley would be the best one for as far as boyfriend goes, and then and then Angel, and then Spike. But in this case, I'm totally Team Spike. But anyway, so it was so great that Izzy falls for him. And I'm showing this book, of course, because this is from after the aftermath of a court. I mean, not a court. That's a different series. The City of Heavenly Fire. It's after that one. This book is the aftermath of that one. And what becomes of Simon. So I'm showing that one, and so next we have here my next favorite couple from Cassandra Clare's world is Alec and Magnus. I love this couple, and they have to overcome so many obstacles, like the fact that Magnus is immortal, he's a warlock, so he's a downworlder, he's had a lot of history with other people, and I think he's bisexual. And, Alec is a shadow hunter. He's always been led to believe that he has to kill all downworlders, he has to protect the world from downworlders, and he's also dealing with the issue of that he still hasn't come out to his parents. He's, struggling with that, and he's the oldest in the family, and so, in the show, this is not a storyline in the books, but in the show, he's pressured to marry this one woman, because, he has to lead the institute, so he has to I guess he needs to have a wife, and she's a woman, and it's fine, but, he doesn't marry her, and Magnus shows up, and he tells his parents. In that way, he approaches Magnus and kisses him, and Magnus shows up to stop the wedding. It's like a scene out of a romantic comedy or a romantic drama where the girl or the guy shows up to stop the wedding. It's like, you can't marry him, you love me. Not that Magnus actually says that, but it's a beautiful moment. It's one of my favorite moments in the TV series, especially as a fan of this couple. So the last one is one of the books that I don't have, and that is the couple, the trio in Infernal Devices. Sophie, what are you doing? Don't go through my trash can. I mean, not that there's anything for you to go through, but Sophie, my other beagle, my oldest beagle, she is a bit of a scavenger. And she will go through my trash can. Especially, sometimes I'll bring food up here, even though I'm not supposed to. But I will bring up something that I can eat quickly, like a cookie or chocolate, and, if it's wrapped in something, I throw the wrapper away, and then she'll eat it if I'm not here. So anyway, back to the couples. Okay, so I would constantly go back and forth between Jem and Will. Now, Will has some good points, like he loves to read and everything. He's very passionate about reading, and he's charming, and he's very nice, especially when it comes to Tessa. He can actually be really sweet, and Jem, sadly, is going to die. He's sick. But my problem with Will, and yes, I know people are going to hate on me for this, but Will is an asshole. He treats everybody like crap. And yes, I know he's cursed. He believes he's cursed. Again, he believes he's cursed. I am well aware of that. And he thinks that he's manipulated as a kid. He's a kid. He's a child who's manipulated to believing by a demon that he's gonna hurt everyone he loves. I don't remember, I guess everyone he loves is gonna die or something. I can't remember what the actual things about the curse were. So to do that, he does that thing that drives me crazy that guys in movies and TV shows and books do, that whole pushing everybody away because, oh, I'm gonna hurt you, so I need to push you away. I need to make you hate me because I'm gonna hurt you. If something, you're gonna get hurt. And it's like, seriously? you think that is gonna make things better, that it's gonna protect them if you push people away? It's gonna, yes, it's already, they're already gonna get hurt because you're pushing them away. It always backfires whenever a character, whether it's, the guy pushing away the girl, or the guy pushing everybody he loves away, even his family. They're gonna get hurt no matter what, because the fact that you are pushing them away. Like, that's still hurting them. If you make them hate you, you are still hurting them. You're doing it yourself. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. The fact that you're pushing them away, you're just doing what it said would happen. You're hurting them yourself without, and if you're not there to protect them because you push them away, they're gonna get hurt because you are not there to help protect them. So they're gonna get hurt. It's like, and you're hurting them yourself. You think that's better for you to do the hurting? No, that's not better. If you care about them, you wouldn't push them away. And it just drives me nuts when male characters do this. That's why I can't be a complete supporter of Willow. Yes, I know he thinks he's cursed, so of course he's doing this because he thinks he's cursed. But it's stupid. I mean, he was just a naive little kid when he first heard it, and he still believes it as a 16-year-old. I mean, I don't remember if he was 16. Actually, he might be 18. I can't remember. But he still believes, even now, he's still naive to believe this is true, and he's an idiot. And yes, I know he believes he's cursed, but to me, that's no excuse. So, okay, I'm done now. I was watching Sam from Thoughts on Tomes talk about this series, and thinking about it now, I agree with her. I like the three of them as a unit. I ship the love triangle itself. Now, I know a lot of people don't like love triangles, and I get why, but I'm more tolerant of love triangles. And to me, now, of course, I have friends here that I can tell them whatever I want to tell them, but they still will not read this book because of the love triangle. Of course, there are also other reasons, like these particular friends of mine, they're much older than me, and they don't read YA because they can't relate to it. Which, okay, fine. I mean, I still kind of roll my eyes at that, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, alright, fine, I get that. But then, but I am okay with love triangles. I will support love triangles, or at least I will ignore them and not really care as much if it happens to have a love triangle. Because I'm not going to stop reading a book just because it has a love triangle. If I chose to read this book, if I chose to buy it or borrow it from the library, I mean, if I borrow it from the library, I might be more inclined to DNF it. But if I don't like it, if there's aspects that give me a reason to DNF it. But if I bought it, then I'm not going to, I'm not going to be like, okay, I don't want to read this. I hate this book because it has a love triangle. Because to me, that's just silly. Like I said, I understand why people, but for me personally, I'm okay with love triangles. I mean, sometimes I get annoyed by them, but then it's like, you know what, it's there, I'll deal with it. And like I said, I say it's silly because I spent the money. I chose to buy the book, so you know what, I'm not gonna be the type of person who just gives it away, or, just because of one aspect of the story, because I spent the money. I went through all the trouble and spent the money. And I think that's just a small little aspect of the storyline. So, but I love, that ship is, I like that ship. And I know some people don't like how it ended, but I actually like how it ended. I mean, maybe it was a fairy tale cliche ending, but in where Tessa gets to eat her, gets to have her cake and eat it too, so to speak. But I liked it, okay? I like it, and maybe people don't get that, but you know what? Sometimes I like really happy endings, cheesy fairy tale-like endings. I mean, I know it's not realistic, but in certain cases, I think it's a relief to have those kind of endings. Okay, so next, I'm going to talk about some younger, one of these couples. I'm going to talk about a younger couple, and also kind of a love triangle romance, and that is Bill and Beverly in the horror novel It. Yes, there actually is a little bit of romance, and of course, if you've read the book or or even if you haven't read the book but you just heard of it, there is that one scene that everybody talks about that happens in the climax of this book that is really weird and inappropriate, and I don't get why they had it. But I know for at least one of the booktubers I like that, it kind of ruined the book for her, which I understand, but for me, it doesn't ruin the book. It's just one part of the book. It's a really weird part of the book, and it's disturbing, but it's just one part. But I still love the ship in this book. It's that young love, first love kind of thing. When they first discover being attracted to someone and having feelings for someone in a romantic way. I mean, these kids are like 12 or 11 years old in the beginning of the book, because it goes back and forth between their adult selves and their younger selves. But it's so cute. This young love and everything. But I did have one of the guys in the love triangle that I preferred over the other one, that I leaned more towards. I liked both guys, and I had a crush on both guys. And yes, I know that's really weird because of how old I am, but you know what? I mean, I read this years ago the first time. And if I were their age, let's put it this way, if I were their age, I would be interested in both boys. You got Bill, who's the charismatic leader of the group. He's so brave and so heroic and everything. And he's lost his younger brother, his baby brother, to the monster in the story. And he stutters, so he's bullied. All the main kids in this book, are kind of bullied because they all have something about them that makes them outcast. Like Bill stutters a lot, and Ben, the other half of the love triangle, he's overweight. He's that's really the big issue about him. That's the big thing that he gets bullied for, because he's overweight. He's just a nice kid with a heart of gold. He's very sweet and everything. And as Beverly says, at least in the miniseries, I don't remember if it's in the book because it's been a long time since I read it the first time. He has the heart of a poet. He's so sweet and so romantic. And he's the one I lean more towards. And I feel like the girl falling for guys like Bill's character is, it's so cliche and typical. The charming leader, and, he's charismatic, and she doesn't she doesn't fall for the nice guy. The nice one. Although Bill is a nice guy too, but you know what I mean. Actually, all the boys kind of like all the boys in our little group. I don't know about Mike, but all the boys kind of have a crush on Beverly. She's the one girl in the group, and she's considered very pretty, despite the fact that she's poor. And she's a bit of a tomboy, and her dad's a janitor. But out of the 6 boys, they don't care about that. They still think she's pretty. And of course, all the girls in our class are all jealous of her because of that, so they bully her because of it. Or at least that's one of the reasons. But I mean, it's so cute, especially since it's their first experience with it. So this next one is one where they were kind of friends first, but kind of not. Okay, so if you watched my review, I told you a little bit about the first book. This is a series of 4 books. It's a quartet about this kid, Javid, who is half human, half gray elf. He lives with his human father, his biological father. Sadly, his only friend whom he has a crush on is Caddy, who is the daughter of the town blacksmith. But then, sadly, in the second book, which pisses me off, is that while he's away, she gets a boyfriend who is also apprenticed to her father. And she basically tells Javid. She doesn't actually spell it out for him, but he figures it out that she just sees him as a brother, not just because she's not attracted to him, but because his gray elf heritage gets in the way. And then what really pisses me off is that, okay, so Javi, when he's at school, he meets his mentor, Derek Sile. He meets his daughter, Becca, who is younger than him, and it's really cute because she teaches him how to dance and everything. And that's the ship I root for. I love them, the two of them together. They are so cute together, and she accepts him and loves him for who he is. And like I said, what I started to say is what pisses me off is that Becca had given Javi this little token of her affection, a little handkerchief, that she sewed herself with their dragon, his dragon, and her dragon on there. And Caddy, when he on his way to school, he runs into Caddy and her family because their village is attacked, and they have to go to the one safe place, which is actually the academy, library academy. And plus, he's a blacksmith anyway, so I think just like Javid's biological father, he has to go anyway. So he shows up. And part of the conflict is all the animals in this world are going crazy, and Caddy's family gets attacked on the road, and Javid shows up to save them. So while they're traveling to the academy, because they give Javid a ride, Caddy sees him touching with a kerchief in his hand, and she has the nerve to get jealous of that. It's like, seriously? You dumped him and told him he was more like a brother, and then you see him with a token from another girl, and you get jealous? I mean, you have the nerve to dump him, and then you have the nerve to get all mad because you see him holding this girl's handkerchief? And then, like, they run into each other at the academy, and she corners him, and she's like, oh, I'm the only one who will accept you and love you for who you are, and that girl is going to dump you, that she doesn't really love you. She couldn't love you like I do, because, I was lying when I said, oh, I only see you as a brother. It's like, the only reason is because you're jealous that he has someone, that he's moved on, he's no longer hung up on you. And it makes me think that she actually subconsciously enjoyed him being all heartbroken, and now that he's no longer heartbroken and he's moved on, and he looks like, because he has a huge growth, part of being a gray elf is that his growing happens really quickly, so he has this huge growth spurt. So now he's really tall and muscular, and he looks really hot, because before he's all scrawny and stuff. And like, I think that's the other thing. That probably is the other thing, that he's attractive now. He's not just the scrawny little boy that she was friends with. He's actually hot. And I think that's what it is. It's like she likes him because he's attractive now. And then she sees that he's with someone, that he's in love with someone else because he sees him. And it's like, I want to slap her. It's like, really? Seriously? It's now you want him? Now you realize that you love him because he's got someone else? That pissed me off. Okay, so next I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna try to, go a little bit faster with this, because I want this video too long, and this is the third time I made this video. The next couple is the couple in Blue Lily Blue, the third book in the Raven cycle. I have actually two couples from this series that I like. Blue and Gansey, of course. Who doesn't love them? They are adorable together. And then Rowan and Adam. And their relationship kind of blossoms in this book, I feel like. So these couples, what I like about them is they're so all as individuals, each of these people are very complex and totally screwed up and messed up in their own ways. They still love each other, which is so nice. I mean, it's sweet and everything, and that's what I like about these guys, is they love each other despite their flaws. I mean, that is definitely what is good romance, when you see that the character has a lot of flaws, but the other character loves them still, despite their flaws. Okay, so I'm going a little bit faster with this, so this video doesn't get too long. Okay, so the next couples, so Cress and Thorne are my first favorite couple, and then Scarlet and Wolf are my second in the Lunar Chronicles. I love these two because, they're very cute together. You have Carswell Thorne, who's a bit of a ladies' man. He's a total player. But then he meets Cress, who has this huge, massive crush on him. She's naive and experienced, and she sees the good in everybody. Well, not everybody, but most people. She tries to see the good, or at least she sees the good in Carswell. And when her satellite crashes, he's like there for her and protects her. I mean, he does screw up because she does get kidnapped, actually by her father, which you don't know at the time is her father. But and she's there for him because he had lost his sight. So she is there to, hold his hand and help guide him to be his eyes and everything. And they are just so cute. I just love them, and you just fall in love with this couple. Oh my god. The next one is Scarlet and Wolf, who is another couple you just fall in love with. She's this feisty, hot-headed young woman who's trying to find her grandmother. And Wolf is this soft-hearted young man who has wolf-like tendencies. He's a savage beast, but he's so soft, he's so gentle and loving, and he, loves Scarlet. And again, another couple that they love each other despite their flaws. And normally they're actually the first couple, the type of couple I usually fall for, but there's this couple too that exists. So they come first. Okay, so next two are from different series, and that is Freya and Rhys, who, again, another couple that grows to love each other. As you can see, there's a pattern here. Like, at first she hates him and thinks he's the villain. He's one of the villains. But then as she gets to know him, she realizes that he's not. He teaches her how to read. He's there for her when she's going through this PSTD. After what happens in the Accord Wing at the end of A Court of Thorns and Roses, when Tamlin, who was supposed to be her fiancé, is not there for her. Now, I do think that he is going through PSTD himself. But the two of them should not be together in the first place. It's not. But then Rhys shows up, and she sees the good in him, and sees that he's just a loving leader who really cares about his, his family, his court, and will even risk having this horrible reputation to protect his family. So, and yeah, he hasn't made the best of choices, but he's still lovable. And Freya, he's someone that needs Freya, and Freya needs him. I love these two. And then the next one I want to talk about is Ron and Hermione. And here's the sixth book, because the couple really comes to in this couple. I mean, they don't actually get together in this book, but there's so much drama with this couple. So much angst and everything, but I love these two. I love how they have that kind of love-to-hate relationship where first they don't like each other, they're always picking at each other, and they're kind of mean to, more so Ron being mean to Hermione than Hermione being mean to him, although she can be a bit judgmental of him, but sometimes it's understandable. And just the two of them, but how, despite how they are with each other, they still fall for each other in the process. They're just so cute, and they do that typical I'm gonna be with someone else to make the other one jealous, which to me is kind of annoying, but it happens, and I'm like, whatever, I'll deal with, But then the two of them they are just so cute. They fight like an old married couple, essentially. Okay, so, those are my favorite couples. There are others, like, I wanted to mention, Eric from The Phantom, and, Rhett and Scarlet, and then, Jamie and Claire from Outlander, but that would take too long, so, I like those ones too. And there are other ones. There's some couples that haven't become a couple yet, but I got spoiled for them and found out they're gonna be a couple. Okay, so here are some small booktubers that I've discovered recently that I really like. I'm gonna give a shout out to the novel Lush. She's cool. She's really cool. I like her. She's very easygoing. I like her. She has very strong opinions. So far, I like her opinions. I probably won't agree with everything she says, but I think she's really cool and worth watching. The Sloth Reader, she's awesome. She's very nice and very cool, and she's one of the Potter heads, and she's a Hufflepuff. So, I mean, come on, why would you not want to be friends with a Hufflepuff? Hufflepuffs are loyal, they're so nice, and they accept everybody. So, I mean, they seem like such a great, seem like a great house. So, if you're a Hufflepuff, and I would love to be friends with you. And then getting Hygge with it. I've been watching her for a little while. She's really cool. I like her reading taste. She's kind of into like literary fiction and historical fiction, and that's one of my favorite genres. And I also the book pusher, Elliot Brooks. These two are really cool too. And I like their taste in books. Books and Baby 93. I just discovered her recently. She's kind of a newer booktuber. She's really cool. Again, another booktuber that I like what she has to say about books. Mickey's Booktube Experiment. She's really cool and she's another newer booktuber. And the last one I have here is Fairy Drugs, who one of the things I like about her is that she's a fantasy reader, and I love fantasy. Fantasy is my number one genre. So that's me making up for my other videos and giving shout outs to smaller booktubers. I really hope you guys get over 1,000 subscribers, even if you're not monetized and aren't trying to keep getting paid for your videos, even if you're just like me and you're booktubing for fun and you don't care about the money. I still hope you guys get over 1,000 subscribers because you guys are really cool booktubers and I think you deserve it. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Right, bye.